BFTB Boxing, best fight the best. So what I want to do is I want to break down this $12.5 million offer. I want to break down this $50 million offer. And I want to focus on the keyword offer. Offer. So if we know what that is, we are offering something, right? If you're offering somebody, anybody, anything, they have to accept it before whatever can proceed. If I'm offering you a handshake and you don't accept my handshake, then I just got played, right? You know what I'm saying? If I put my hand out to shake, which is an offer of a handshake, and you just don't shake it or look at me and move off, but then I just got played, right? If I'm offering you some food and you don't take it, even though you're hungry, and you just go hungry, right? If I'm offering you a car, I'm offering you a deal on this car. If I'm offering you a deal on this car and you don't accept that deal on that car, then you are walking, right? Or you can counter offer for a deal on that car. Or you can counter offer for a deal on that handshake by giving me the pound, fist bump, high five, whatever. You can counter offer that. You can counter offer me giving you food and just say, hey, I'm just thirsty. You can counter offer that. But either way, in order for the offer to be complete, somebody has to accept something. So, Hearn offered Wilder $12.5 million flat fee. No back end money. No split of nothing. Just $12.5 million. Take it or leave it. Fight in the UK. No time for the fight. No details of the fight. Never said where he's getting the money from. Whether it's coming out of his own pocket. Whether he's borrowing it. He never said if it's up front. If it's after the fight is based on, you know, the revenue of the fight. After the revenue is collected, then they'll give you your $12.5 million flat fee. None of those details were provided. There was no contract to sign. There was nothing. It was just a $12.5 million flat fee offer with 48 hours to take it, 48 hours to accept it. And the UK fans and AJ fans went wild. See, yeah, there's your offer. Yeah, he offered you $12.5 million. That's more than you've ever made. Wilder needs to take that. That's $12.5 million. That's a lot of money. It was not 12.5 million pounds. It was $12.5 million. And he needs to take it. He needs to, because Wilder doesn't sell. Wilder can't make that money anywhere else, fighting nobody else. He needs it. So Wilder said, here is my counter offer. Not a contract, a counter offer. I'm offering you something to counter what you offered me. I'm offering you $50 million and a fight in the UK. That's what I'm offering you. I mean, a fight in the US. That's what I'm offering you. One fight. Now, you know, the UK fans changed the narrative. The narrative changed from, oh, Wilder doesn't sell and Wilder can't. And yeah, Wilder, you know, Anthony Joshua said he wants $50 million. If you think it's a $50 million fight, which Hearn said it's not, so if you think it's a $100 million fight, well, give AJ his $50 million up front. But you can't do it because you don't sell. You can't get that money. Like y'all know this man's wallet. Y'all know who he deals with. So then Wilder counter offers $50 million. This is what you said you wanted. Okay, well, here you go. I got it for you. When are we fighting? Here's when we're gonna fight. We got one fight. Here's your 50 million up front. You're going to get 50% of the back end money. So anything we make over $50 million for this fight, you're going to get 50% of that as well. So I'm not going to give you the BS deal that you gave me. I'm not going to give you that bullshit. I'm going to give you a legit deal. This deal is going to be legitimate. I'm going to give you 50 million up front, and then I'm going to give you 50% of anything that we make after that. Collectively, whatever we make collectively, I'm going to give you 50% of that. He didn't even ask for that. Joshua didn't ask for that. He never asked for that. He asked for 50 million up front. That's what he wanted. But Wilder said that's not a good deal. A good deal is this. Good business is this. Here's your 50 million up front, because I know what this fight is going to do. You know what I'm saying? The people that I deal with, who are serious people that deal with serious numbers, say the fight is going to be this. So I'm going to give you your 50 million up front, and then on top of that, I'm going to give you 50% of anything else that we make. So I'm not going to do you like you did me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do you that way. I'm not just going to say, here's your 50 million, I'm not giving you nothing else because this is what you asked for. No. I know what good business looks like. So my offer to you is, here's your 50 million, and then I raise you more money for you in your pocket. I'm going to give you 50 million up front, and then I'm going to give you 50 million of whatever else we make. I'm going to give you 50%, of anything else we make. So you stand the opportunity of making $75 million if this fight does $100 million or more. You stand the chance of making more money than just off of the 50 million up front alone is more than your net worth. You're going to make more than you've ever made ever collectively in just on the upfront money. Not to mention the percentage, the 50% that I'm going to give you on the back end. Win or lose. Win or lose. So we're leaving out the elephant in the room in this situation. Anthony Joshua said he wants to be undisputed. Well, Deontay Wilder is offering you that as well. So he's providing you 50 million up front. He's giving you 50% of the back end, so minus your 50 million that you're already getting. And then you have the opportunity to have all 4 belts. You have the opportunity to be the undisputed champion. So what about this deal is bad for Anthony Joshua? What about this situation is a bad look for Matchroom? There is nothing in this situation that's a bad look for Matchroom. This deal is bad for Team Wilder. That's who it's bad for. They've offered a deal where they are legitimately getting what Floyd Mayweather got to fight Oscar De La Hoya. And Floyd Mayweather fought to get out of that deal. That was a bad deal for him. That was bad. He was trying to get a better deal, but the only way that he could get a fight with Oscar was to take that. It was like a $150 million fight, and Floyd made like $25 million. So in a $150 million fight, Floyd made $25 million, and Oscar took the rest. It was like that was the biggest purse at that time. That was the biggest fight at that time. And Floyd made $25 million, and Oscar took the rest, and Floyd was trying to fight to get a better deal. Well, Wilder is willingly giving you that deal. He's willingly giving you the Oscar De La Hoya deal. Willingly. That's his offer. His original offer to you is the Oscar De La Hoya deal from the Floyd Mayweather fight. That is his original offer. So I'm trying to understand how there could be any negativity from anybody in Team Joshua. I don't understand how you have not grabbed this deal with 2 hands, especially when Joshua said that he would have grabbed, if he was offered 12.5 million, if he was offered that, if he was in Wilder's position and he was offered 12.5 million, he would take it with 2 hands. So the counter of that is, Are you saying that Wilder is Floyd Mayweather and you're Oscar De La Hoya? Because, Oscar was the cash king at that time, correct. But Floyd was the better fighter. Floyd was clearly the better fighter. He was coming up in weight. That was his first fight at that weight class, and he was a better fighter. So you're telling me that Floyd is the better fighter? I mean, that Wilder's the better fighter. I mean, I believe that, but is that what Team Hearn is saying and Team Joshua? Is that what they're saying? Because they actually have to think about this. Like they've been given 7 to 10 days to, or not given it, but they said they need 7 to 10 days to make up their mind on accepting more money than they've ever made collectively in their career. Not just in one fight, like combined in their career. With this fight, they're going to make more money in this fight than they've made in all together combined, their net worth. This is a no-brainer. This is something where you accept this right away. You should have accepted it already. I mean, if you're saying let's roll, then that's the same thing as saying yes, right? So why don't you just say yes? Let's roll is not a business. That's not a business term. You know what I'm saying? If you're serious about the business of boxing, which you guys say, oh, boxing is a business. If you're serious about the business of boxing, let's roll is not a term that they use in serious conversations. They say yes. I mean, it's not that hard. You just say, do you want 50 million up front and then 50% of the proceeds? Can we agree on that principle? Yes, I will take that. I will take that 50 million. But if you can't provide that 50 million and you can't show me proof of funds and you can't say that this is going to be in the contract that I'm going to sign, then I don't want this deal. I mean, what's so hard about that? Then Wilder's exposed, and Joshua and Hearn save face. This is super simple. And they can say, hey, we told them we agreed to that. We accept that 50 million with the 50% on the back end. But they couldn't provide the funds. So since they couldn't provide it, we turned it down. That just validates everybody's saying that Wilder don't sell and Wilder can't make this money. He can't come up with this and he doesn't have, that validates it all. But you guys, you're either too scared to accept it because when you accept it, they'll be able to provide those proof of funds and you could potentially, or more than likely will lose and lose badly in the U.S. Or 2, you're just dumb because you think that, oh, well, yeah, it's 50 million, and then we can possibly get another 25 million, so that's 75 million. So let's punch the numbers and see how much we can make for Jarrell Miller and see how much we can make for Povetkin, and then, see how close we are, and if we can make, 60 million fighting those two bums, or those two fucking trash, Miller and old-ass Povetkin, if I can make about 65 million fighting them, at less risk, then I'm willing to drop 10 million to fight Wilder and potentially lose royally. I'll drop that 10 million and I'll make the 65 million fighting them. So yeah, I guess the risk is worth the reward. I mean, the risk isn't worth the reward to fight Wilder, so I just won't fight him and I'll fight Jarrell Miller and Povetkin and make 10 million less, but for easier fights. So you're either a coward to go to Jarrell Miller and Povetkin route and use that as good business, or you're a dumbass to turn down 50 million and then 50% of the back end, which is going to be a $100 million fight. So breaking down the offer, you're offered 50 million plus 50%. The offer that was offered to you is better than the $12.5 million offer that you offered to them. So both of y'all did the same thing. Both teams did the same thing. Y'all made offers. The only difference is the offer that Team Wilder made was better than the offer that Team Hearn made. And the offer that Team Wilder made was better for everybody, not just for Team Wilder. It was a better deal for Team AJ. So I don't understand why this is even a debate. They're offering you a better deal. You take the better offer. It's just that simple. Especially when you were saying you'll take the offer, the $12.5 million offer, with 2 hands. So then how many hands are you going to use to take the 50 million plus offer? Or are you going to take it? Or is that just a PR stunt and a smokescreen? That 12.5 was a PR stunt and smokescreen, making someone an offer that you know they wouldn't take. And then you start getting the media saying that you should take this, you should take this. Okay, well then why wouldn't you take the 50 million? If you were excited about 12.5 and on a potential fight that Hearn and your team are saying won't, well, first they said they will do 100 million, and then they changed it up. They changed the narrative to say it won't do 100 million so that they can make the 12.5 look more enticing. So now they're saying this fight will do roughly $60 million, right? So on a roughly, in the U.S., a $60 million fight in the U.S. So a roughly $60 million fight, meaning you're going to get, 47, right? 47.5. You're going to get $47.5 million. So you were excited about 47.5, but how come you're not jumping through the ceiling for 50 million plus? It's not coming out of your pocket. That's all 100% revenue for you. So I'm not understanding why this is even a debate. The offer is better from Team Wilder, so that's the offer you should be taking. You should be taking a 50 million plus offer versus a $47.5 million offer. Someone needs to help me understand what's the difference, because with the $12.5 million offer, there was no paperwork, there was no contract, there was nothing. It was just an offer. This is what we are willing to offer you for this fight. And Wilder's team said, fine, I'll see your 12.5 million. And I believe this fight is worth more. My team believes it's worth more. They're willing to put up the money. We're offering you 50 million plus. There's no difference from what Hearn offered than what Wilder offered versus except for the numbers. That's the only difference. The only difference is the numbers, the amount. The principle of the offer is the exact same. An offer is an offer. But you protectors change the narrative to, well, I'm not going to sign nothing without knowing what's going on. No one's asking you to sign anything. No one asked you to sign anything. Oh, I'm not going to agree to nothing and I don't see the contract. Well, what are you talking about? Because you just made an offer that you said Wilder should agree to. So why should Wilder agree to 12.5, but Joshua not agree to 50 mil plus? I don't understand the difference. What's the difference between the two? This is not hating. This is factual statements. Someone to tell me what's the difference between Joshua's $12.5 million offer and Wilder's $50 million plus offer. What's the difference except for the numbers? There's the difference is the numbers and the location. So I'll tell you what, Hearn, if you think, that you can do better, if you think that what you're providing, that what you can provide is better than what Wilder can provide, we'll make a better offer, because 12.5 is not better than 50 plus. So make a better offer. Say, okay, well, here's $100 million. Here's $100 million, Wilder. This fight's going to happen in the UK. Here's $100 million, one fight, happens in Cardiff, $100 million up front. Matter of fact, here's $60 million up front, and then we'll do 50-50 on the back end split. Then it happens in the UK. That's a better deal. $51 million up front and 50-50 split. Matter of fact, 51 million up front and a 60-40 split for Joshua in the UK. It's a better offer, right? So provide a better offer, provide the counter offer, and then let's talk. But if you're not going to provide a better offer than what was offered to you, then what are we talking about? You're either going to accept or you're not. And then if you're not going to provide a better offer, then you have no legs to stand on. You can't talk trash about anybody else. You can't talk trash about nothing. You just have to be like, damn, we just weren't ready for that. And I would be okay if Hearn said, look, this is what we want to do. We want to fight Povetkin. We want to fight Gerald Miller. That's who we want to fight. We will fight Wilder after we fight those two, but that's who we want to fight right now. If you said that, Hearn, I would respect that. I definitely would respect that. But that's not what you're saying. You are using, and I want y'all to hear me clearly, Hearn is using Wilder's name to build Joshua. That is a fact. That is a 100% fact. People say, what? How's that a fact? It is a fact. Because you are the A side. You can make the Wilder fight whenever you want. Wilder can't make that fight when he wants to. He would have had it already if he could. He can't make that fight. Joshua can make that fight tomorrow. He can make it today if he wants to. Today, right now, Joshua can make that fight. He's in a position to make it. So if you're in a position to make that fight, if you're in a position, you know what I'm saying, of power, and you don't use that power, then you are using whoever to your advantage. So Hearn is saying, oh yeah, Joshua wants that fight. Yeah, we think we'll knock Wilder out in 3 rounds. But you won't make the fight. Because Wilder won't accept $12.5 million. A smaller, a lesser deal than what he's offering you. So you are using this man's name to keep yours relevant. You're building yours off of Wilder's back. When the crazy thing is, you could fight this man and you don't have to build nothing. You could fight him. You can get the WBC title. You become the undisputed champ. You are the king of the division. Period. One king. But you won't even do that. What is the drag for? Why are you dragging this out? Is Joshua inexperienced still? You still think he needs a few more fights before he fights Wilder? What's the holdup? Can anybody explain this? Because it's not Wilder, because he's not in a position to hold anything up. So what's the holdup? What is the holdup? Someone needs to explain to me why Joshua is not fighting Wilder, other than fear or stupidity. Because those are my options that I believe that it is. It's either fear or stupidity. You know what I'm saying? So why is he not fighting Wilder? Why? What is stopping Joshua from accomplishing his dreams of undisputed? He says that I want to be the undisputed champion. I want all the belts. What is stopping you from accomplishing your dream? What is it? You're the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, and you're debating on taking it. What? You've been working you've been in the NFL, like your Pee Wee League, high school, college. You've been pressing to be the number 1 pick. You've been pressing for it. You've been pressing your whole life. This is what you want to do. You want to be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Well, now you're the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. You're an Eagles fan. Matter of fact, you're a Browns fan. You're a Browns fan. You've been a diehard, lifelong Browns fan. The Browns is the number 1 pick. They select Anthony Joshua. And you're sitting here debating on whether or not you want to accept it or not. I'm blown. I don't understand. Man, you're either a coward or you're scared to death. You're the number 1 pick, man. They have selected you. The Browns have picked you. They said, here you go. This is your lifelong dream. You, from a child, you've been a Browns fan, and the Browns have selected you with the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Here you go. All you got to do is say yes, and you're debating it. You're like, hey, I need 7 to 10 days to debate this. Pathetic, man. Best fight the best, and I'm out.